going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerdy Mark channel. I am Sid, the Nerdy Mark. Today I have my quick thoughts on AEW and NXT. Now, before I talk about that, I did want to talk about a couple of things. Very interesting week for pro wrestling. I guess we'll talk about the elephant in the room. Actually, before that, I guess I'll go ahead and say it, but rest in peace to famed ring announcer Howard Finkel. He definitely was a very iconic voice in the world of professional wrestling across WWE, primary WWE. I don't believe he did anything for WCW. Correct me if I'm wrong. I remember that. I know that a lot of the matches that I watched were announced by Mr. Finkel himself. So after Mean Gene Okerlund, I think he's one of the most iconic voices in all of wrestling. So rest in peace. To Howard Finkel, thoughts and prayers to Mr. Finkel's family and friends, and thank you for your contribution to pro wrestling. You are gone but not forgotten. Rest in peace. And then I wanted to also mention, of course, everything that's been going on. Now, I did talk about it a little bit on Instagram. Talked about it on, with my boy Tim. Part of Armbar Audio, of course, and the Armbar Audio Instagram. We did a little IG live together, and we talked about it, and it was a good time. We all let our emotions out there. So I guess I'm feeling a little bit better, and I'm like, I can maybe look at this a little bit more level-headed at this point. Just a little bit, not too much, but and I'm not going to get into the list of names of everyone who got released from WWE. You can look that up online. It's everywhere at this point. So I'm not gonna go through the trouble of pulling up the list or anything. I don't even have my laptop open. It's closed. By the way, I hope you guys like the new lighting. I want to show you. This is a night lamp that I got some time back. It was a Christmas gift, and I never used it until now, because I saw that when I do live streams, like half my face is like, you can barely see it. So I said, okay, fine, let me keep this on. And now it looks like I'm recording in the night. But but it's like a fragrance lamp. So you have like those little wax things you put on the top and it melts. Anyway, so we're getting off topic. I apologize. So then I tend to do a lot these days, especially when I'm with Tim and John. But anyway, so I think this is it's a crazy time in WWE, in wrestling, as like I mentioned, so many superstars got released, and this is obviously WWE's annual spring cleaning, but you would think that they would, I don't know, just move a little closer. There you go. But you would think that they would, wait just a little longer. I mean, we have this whole lockdown thing going on, a lot of uncertainty going on in not just in America, in the entire world. But I get it. Look, business is business. At the end of the day, it's showbiz, and that's just what happens. You one day you're, if you're a contractor, I mean, it sucks. Like I was talking to someone at my workplace who used to work in showbiz, and they were saying, it's brutal, and it is. So, I don't want to say that, I'm not saying what WWE did was the right thing or the wrong thing. It's just what they did, even though WWE has been declared an essential business. I find that funny, actually. As a fan of pro wrestling, I don't even think that was necessary, because as much as I love pro wrestling, I know that it's not an essential service, because at this point, people are worried about way too many other things than to worry about pro wrestling. Obviously, it was only a matter of time, though, because a lot of other industries are getting, are experiencing a lot of layoffs and furloughs and stuff like that. And I think it was only a matter of time, though, before that caught up to the world of professional wrestling. Sports, football games are canceled. NFL is pretty much non-existent now. that was terrible, man. I think XFL is just doomed to fail. So I really hope that Vince doesn't try to bring it back up again in like another 20 years. You know, that's gonna suck. But as far as these firings go, these layoffs and releases go, you know, to all the talent that got released, it sucks. I know. I've been there before. I've lost my job. I have this job that I have now. Like I said, I thank God that I have it. But when I was doing the video editing thing, you know, I had lost my job, and they had given me the boot. They had terminated me, and I know how that felt. Like I felt like shit. You know, excuse my language, but that's how I felt. You know, when I got fired from my company, the company that I was working in Louisiana, you know, I felt the same way. I felt very gutted, and it sucks, man. It's a blow. It's just a blow to your stomach, you know, and it's a kick in the balls. That's what it is. You know, it feels just terrible, you know. So I do totally understand how a lot of these superstars must be feeling right now. I saw Drake Maverick's video. He was crying, like holy shit. But the one thing I did want to mention about Drake Maverick, his video when he was crying, he mentioned that you know, this is not about the NXT Cruiserweight title anymore. It's about my life. So he made it feel as if he doesn't win the Cruiserweight title, he's fired from WWE. It didn't sound like, you know, he was getting released because, you know, they were trying to save money. You know, and of course he's posting pictures of him in the Cruiserweight tournament still, saying I'm not done yet. And I know that the episodes are pre-recorded, so chill, you don't have to keep telling me. But I don't understand. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I don't understand. I'm just saying that and I'm not trying to take away anything from what Drake Maverick had to say. If he's gone, then crap, that sucks, you know. And if he really is, you know, gonna be released or furloughed, I do hope he's furloughed so that he doesn't, you know, have to look for another job. But then again, you know, we could see the return of Rockstar Spud at some point, but who knows? But I wouldn't hold my breath. So, as far as Maverick's concerned, like from the way he phrased everything and the way that WWE kind of mentioned is kind of promoting this Cruiserweight tournament, they're like, Drake Maverick has a lot to prove in this tournament. So it made it feel like Drake Maverick has to win the NXT Championship tournament, the Cruiserweight tournament, the interim Cruiserweight tournament, to keep his job, basically. Like, the only way he's going to keep his job is if he becomes the Cruiserweight champion. So, is this a way for them to make us root for Maverick? Is this, you know, part of a storyline? Is this were we worked into a shoot? I don't know, you know. And again, I'm not saying that Drake Maverick, this is nothing against Drake Maverick. By the way, if this is a work and this whole time they were just working us into a shoot, like WWE and Drake Maverick, first of all, A, that's genius, and B, that's messed up. Okay? Excuse me. Because, you know, that's pretty genius. You know, you make it feel, you give us like you make us really feel emotional about it, really emotionally behind Drake Maverick to win this tournament so that, you know, he can still have a job. But at the same time, you know, you get all these other people who are released. What about them? Are they all works, right? Because most of them don't seem like it. Most of them do seem like they're actually gone. Like, for example, Carl Anderson and Gallows, they're changing their social media handles to, you know, Doc Gallows and Machine Gun Carl Anderson, respectively. EC3 shaved his head, and he's basically said that he's out of WWE. He's been wanting his release for a while, so him I'm not too worried about. I know Leo Rush's release is pretty much for real, and so many other people. But Drake Maverick's case just seems a little bit different, you know. I guess just because he is in this tournament, and they did film all the episodes, so perhaps that's why they're making it feel like that, just so it's a good way for him to exit the company. But I don't know, that part of me kind of wants it to be a work, just because I don't like seeing people getting laid off of their jobs. But a part of me also is like, well, I mean, if this is a work, you're basically it's just art imitating life, and it's just you're basically taking what Drake Maverick, basically taking a real life situation and making a storyline out of it for one of your superstars. It kind of would, for me at least, it would leave a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, I may not be too receptive of it. No, I would. I'm lying. I'm just kidding. Because for me, it would feel a little bit odd though, just because it's like, well, all these people really are getting fired, but here you have one of your superstars using that to advance a storyline. Kind of weird, in my opinion. But we'll see as the days go by. But I do hope that Drake Maverick does find work at some point, whether he returns as Rockstar Spud, or whatnot. That would be cool. Actually, I would be totally fine with Rockstar Spud. That would be awesome. Anyway, so yeah, but at the end of the day, I just want to thank every single WWE superstar that got released for everything. Heath Slater. The 3MB prophecy is going to get fulfilled very soon, because Heath Slater, he got fired from WWE now. And just like Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre, now he can go out, get in shape, and come back and win the WWE Championship. That'd be cool. But anyway, so I don't know. Maybe that's a work too. I don't know. I'm not saying that it's a work. Okay, just first of all, calm down. I'm not saying, this is all a work and you people shouldn't feel bad. No, I'm saying that if it is, just because of the way that certain people chose to phrase the way they felt, it just sounds like it. But again, I could be extremely wrong, and if I am, that's fine. I'm okay with being wrong. I've been wrong many times before in life. One more time wouldn't hurt. So hopefully, though, everybody does make it through this stronger and and whatnot, and hopefully the better times are ahead for these people. But I was just really sad yesterday, man, just reading all the, especially the day we got the news, there was a decent block of people that left, and it just kept going, and I was just like, oh my god, so that was crazy. But that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Hopefully they do find something soon, a way to make money, because they got to put food on the table. So a lot of these people, this is all they know, but we'll see. As far as NXT and AEW goes, just really quick thoughts. I thought that NXT was definitely the better show this week, so we'll start with that. I did like a lot more of the matches, like Balor versus Eichner was really good. I'm excited for Dream versus Balor next week. That should be awesome. The eventual match between Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream should be really good as well. I'm actually smelling a triple threat, because I don't think they're going to end Finn Balor's winning streak just yet. So, I'm thinking we're gonna get Balor versus Dream versus Cole for the WWE, the NXT Championship. So we'll see. That should be good. The main event with the Undisputed Era versus Matt Riddle and his surprise partner Timothy Thatcher was great. I love that. Timothy Thatcher, I saw a match with him and Minoru Suzuki, and he is one hard-hitting son of a gun. So I love that. His theme music here is good. It kind of reminds me of Dan Severin, so that's awesome. Dexter Lumis is an interesting character. His theme music is very reminiscent of Stranger Things, and I'm totally fine with it because it's really, really good, and he's an interesting character. We had the debut of Killer Cross when he attacked Tommaso Ciampa, who was speaking from his little trailer park thing, I guess. And he's now called Carrion Cross, Karrion. The definition of which is basically defined, it translates to decaying flesh, because decaying flesh is a lot more PG than killer. That makes a lot more sense. Anyway, so that was there. AEW had some decent matches too. I liked Kip Sabian versus Chuck Taylor. That was a pretty good match. Britt Baker doing, getting some of her win back. That was cool. The Bubbly Bunch vignette was nice. I like that. Lance Archer continues to plow through the competition. He more or less squashed Colt Cabana. So we'll see. Again, I think this is all leading up to Archer versus Cody, where Archer will win the TNT Championship, which is fine. Really looking forward to Darby versus Sammy next week. Sammy had a decent match though with Shug D, so that was cool. The main event, Jake Hager versus Jon Moxley. It wasn't bad, but I expected a little bit more from a main event, in my opinion. I think it was a little too slow for me, a bit sluggish. I get, well, not sluggish. It was a bit slow for me. For example, Moxley feels legit. He feels he feels amazing. He feels like a fighting champion, which is awesome. I think Hager was my issue. For me, Hager is just too slow for me. I don't know. I'm just not feeling Jake Hager in-ring abilities. Like, his match with Dustin was cool, but that was the only reason is because his wife got involved and all the antics there, in my opinion. Again, Jake Hager. He feels a lot like the Brock Lesnar of AEW. Honestly, but instead of a German suplex, he does a triangle choke hold and an ankle lock. Cool, great. But what else you got, buddy? So, and this is just my personal thought on Jake Hager. If you have different thoughts, it's totally fine. Okay. I personally am not a big fan of Jake Hager. I never really cared much for Jack's swagger in WWE, and I don't care much for Jake Hager now. All I know him is as Jericho's muscle. That's it. So, yeah, but that's about it. Overall, I'm gonna say that NXT was a lot better this week. I felt NXT felt a little bit more organized than AEW did. I felt AEW was a little bit haphazard this week. That really sucks for me to say that, but I could just tell that there was a lot more of clarity in what NXT was planning to do, while AEW did feel like it was doing a little too much. Wanted to do a little too much, but didn't get to do nearly as much as they wanted to. So that's just my feeling of it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just really tired because I literally just finished work and I'm just talking and I'll have to get this out. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on AEW and NXT, my thoughts on the whole WWE firing a bunch of people at this point, and that's it. So let me know what you guys think about any of those things in the comment section below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Tell your friends about the Nerdy Mark. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Practice social distancing. All that jazz. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.